YoungThreat's story is wild. He went from vibing in Kendrick Lamar's studio to sitting behind bars for a shocking daylight shooting. The streets knew him for his raw energy, but fame couldn't pull him all the way out. When Kendrick featured him on the GNX album, everyone thought he was finally leaving the street life behind. But YoungThreat was still split. One foot chasing hits in the booth, the other stuck in the same block drama that raised him. For a while, it looked like Kendrick's cosign would change everything.
And then that's when Cud came with just a couple vicious punches. The chin cone, neighborhood crept the temple, and then Cud hit me somewhere right here. Cud, I couldn't breathe, I fell.
Until January 2026 hit. Then boom, breaking news hit the internet. Reports said YoungThreat got arrested for the murder of a guy named YCA 80 Bands. A shocking twist that left everyone stunned. Back in October 2026, 80 Bands, who repped Main Street Mafia Crips, allegedly wandered into 8 Trey Hoover territory and got caught slipping at a local weed shop. YoungThreat, who's known to rock with the Hoovers, was quickly named in the rumors. Word spread fast that he might have been getting revenge for one of his close friends who got taken out by Main Street. Things were heating up fast. Word on the street says the Main Streets had already taken out an 8 Trey member on that same block before YCA 80 Bands got caught there. Apparently, 80 Bands was cruising through the 8 Trey Hoover zone trying to prove he wasn't scared of the tension, but things went left fast. Sources claim YoungThreat got tipped off about his location and pulled up with deadly intent. What was supposed to be a bold move turned into a tragic moment that flipped the whole neighborhood upside down. People on the outside had no clue what was really brewing, but the death of YCA 80 Bands set off serious tension inside the Main Streets crew. Whispers started spreading fast. Insiders said the Main Streets from 98th were sliding in retaliation for 80 Bands, trying to keep his name alive. But that move didn't sit right with the Main Streets from 84th, who supposedly got checked about the situation and started backing off. Suddenly, old alliances were cracking and the streets were buzzing with drama that wouldn't stay quiet for long.
What does it do for an artist to be featured on like a major artist album? Like what is the outcome of that for you?
Put pressure on you.
How
Hell
so?
yeah. Because a lot of people want to know why he did that. Why a lot of people want to know, are you actually talented? You know what I'm saying? A lot of people gonna have their thoughts on if you're talented or not. You know, there's a lot of shit you gotta weed in and weed out. Sometimes you gotta weed out some shit. You gotta just really like stay focused. You know, it's a lot of, you know, it come with a lot. The internet is.
The Main Streets and the 8 Trey Hoovers have been locked in a non-stop feud for years. It runs deep. Even some of the women from Main Street have jumped into the action, showing they're just as bold. Back in 2023, a woman allegedly repping Main Street pulled up strapped with 2 guns and opened fire on a Hoover who was just sitting in his car at a gas station. That moment shocked everyone. It proved the tension between Main Street and the 8 Treys was way past the point of peace. The Hoovers and their rivals had been trading hits for a long time, but no one ever thought YoungThreat would take it this far, especially with cameras watching every move. Now he's sitting behind bars, facing both a murder and an attempted murder charge after allegedly hitting a second person who managed to survive. It's a wild fall from fame, from studio lights to jail lights. And the craziest part, this isn't even the first time YoungThreat's name has been tied to some heavy charges. YoungThreat grew up right in the H, deep in Hoover territory where his whole family was already connected to the set.
Not beat the internet, you feel me? So it's like you gotta stay focused. You feel me? That shit put pressure on you. A lot of people want to see what's next. And then they gonna damn near critique everything. You feel me? They gonna pay attention to everything. Like, who is this dude? Like pretty much everything I drop from now on. Who is he? Why Dot put this motherfucker there? And they gonna want to know more about it. So now from now on, I gotta figure out how to keep the people locked in.
From early on, that street life was all he knew. He wasn't chasing school trophies, he was chasing respect in the neighborhood. As a teen, he was constantly getting picked up for small run-ins with the law, bouncing in and out of juvie like it was routine. But things got real when he caught a 2-year sentence just before finishing high school. That moment showed how early the streets had already claimed him. Even as a kid, YoungThreat was active in the streets, but he somehow kept showing up to class and even played football on the side. By his senior year, though, things got tense. He already knew the cops were after him, so he tried to lay low while still popping up at school here and there. But one day, everything flipped. The principal called him into the office, acting like it was just a normal talk. The moment YoungThreat stepped inside, he realized what was really going down. The principal had set him up and called the cops to come get him. Before the fame, YoungThreat was deep in the streets, hitting houses and running robberies with one of his close homies. But when things got serious, that same homie flipped and YoungThreat ended up taking the fall, landing a 2-year sentence.
Never live my life on a computer. IG get you life for a chikabuya. More power to you. Love 'em from a distance.
When he finally got out, he decided to switch it up and chase music for real. By 2019, his songs like Who Gon' Slide and Hit Different started blowing up online, pulling crazy numbers. It really looked like YoungThreat was about to leave the street life behind and take over the rap game. Even with his music starting to buzz, YoungThreat couldn't stay out of the trenches. That street pull was strong. His rising rap momentum came crashing down when he got locked up again, this time for another robbery out in the Inland Empire. While he was behind bars, things got rough. He was losing close friends to street violence, and his name was slowly fading from the rap scene.
Why you always in the mirror more than the bitches? And my cousin tried to sue me like he got the privilege, but I didn't lose sleep cause I got the spirit. Hey, rich nigga.
But during that same time, another 8-tray Hoover criminal, Treeway 6K, started dropping tracks and repping hard for the set. Treeway's name was getting louder, and people were starting to notice the shift. Treeway 6K was wild both in the streets and in the booth, crashing out on the ops and turning that chaos into music that hit hard. In his tracks, he rapped about the reality of his life, spitting lines like, "It's Trey Gang for the win, I'ma die young or sack it out in the pen. Big bro got 15 years when his life just began. Shoot it out, forget the tears, bounce out and get your mans." Those bars hit deep, raw and fearless. While YoungThreat was locked up, Treeway carried the 8-tray Hoover name strong, making sure their presence stayed loud in the streets and the rap scene.
I'm so far ahead of my time, I got people 5 years from now pressing rewind. I'm hardly impressed with y'all, I hate rappers. Where the true artists at? If it ain't a good picture you draw, don't bring it to the architect. Often you're arguing about who got next, claiming you're running the game, niggas is barely walking yet. Hopping all over beats without going through training camp. Try studying a few greats, then maybe you be one man.
By 2021, YoungThreat was finally out on parole and wasted no time getting back to work, linking up with Treeway 6K on hard-hitting tracks like Out on Bail. Even with 2 strikes already hanging over him, he was still caught up deep in the streets, refusing to back down. In his music, he stayed bold, calling out rivals and making it clear he wasn't scared of anyone. When he rapped, the ops dissing, trying to get a mention, fans could feel the tension. He was speaking straight from the middle of real street chaos. In one of their tracks, YoungThreat rapped gritty lines like, "We was busting down the safe, chasing digits. My bro do anything just to get it. Running fast with 2 pistols, we pull up, they got issues."
Your songwriting ain't great, your mixtape's mediocre, you recycle the same quotes, you're not switching your flow, you're flowing the same place. Don't just rap, elaborate, expand, try to be more creative perhaps. My rap friends, I ain't saying that you whack, psych. Like an invoice, I'm just stating the facts, right? And that's not the metaphors I write. In fact, you've been a factor you feared your whole life. No TV show. Don't compare me with them. That's like Jaws versus Nemo, a gorilla to a chimp. A Jordan versus Cool Coach. A Tony Montana will blow on his nose to a Nino.
That raw energy showed exactly how deep things were getting. The 8-tray Hoovers had beef spread all over the city, clashing with both Crip and Blood sets non-stop. On that same record, Treeway 6K added his own fire, saying, "Police asking me, you want to go with the Crips or the Bloods?" Showing just how real the pressure was from every direction. Treeway kept it real in his lyrics, saying, "I tell them on the dead homies, you better give me my own cell. I ain't cool with none of them." On Hoover, that line hit hard, showing how serious the tension was. The 8-tray Hoovers had a heavy rep in LA, with rumors saying they robbed rappers who came to the city without checking in. Things got even wilder when word spread that Treeway's little brother was one of the teens involved in the tragic Pop Smoke situation back in 2020. He was still just a teenager when everything went down. It's never been fully confirmed if Treeway's little brother was the one who actually pulled the trigger in the Pop Smoke case, but he still ended up getting convicted after taking a plea deal. Even with all that drama hanging over him, Treeway was building serious momentum in the rap scene. Still, he claimed the industry was trying to blackball him because of his brother's connection to the case. Despite that, his tracks were pulling strong numbers.
The fact that a famous group can be looked just like one of us, can dress like one of us, talk like one of us, prove to every single kid in the ghetto that you can be successful and still have your voice while doing it. I felt like each and every single one of them was black superheroes where I come from, you know what I'm saying? Because it showed, like I said, people from our community can be on that television screen, be on awards, and still have that voice and be real to themselves. So make some noise for that, because that's the realest thing probably going on in hip-hop and the world.
Especially when he and YoungThreat teamed up in the booth. But just when it seemed like he was finally making his way up, Treeway threw it all away, getting caught on camera allegedly shooting a rival. Treeway got locked up for the shooting, but even after that, he couldn't chill. He kept making reckless moves. One day in court for the same case, he spotted one of his rivals right there in the courtroom and decided to throw hands, even with cops standing all around. It was wild. chaos in front of everyone. But somehow, he still got off lighter than most expected, only ending up with a 6-year sentence. Even with that, it was another tough hit for YoungThreat, who'd already lost too many close homies to the system and the streets. After YoungThreat came home and got back in the studio, he started linking up with a dude named Jab 5, a known name from the 107 Hoover Criminals. Jab 5 had already gone viral after a public feud with Crip Mac from 55 Neighborhood Crip, and their tension had everyone talking. Jab 5 had a rep for throwing hands and handling business face to face, and even Crip Mac himself admitted that Jab 5 stomped him out during a fight in jail. Teaming up with someone like that gave YoungThreat's music new energy, but it also pulled him even deeper into the middle of some heavy street drama.
I just watched half of London's music community go absolutely mad for you.
Thank you. It was crazy out there.
And the crowd loved you. And what happened? As soon as you left the stage, half of the building emptied.
Seriously?
No joke.
Oh, I didn't see that. I wish I would have watched it. That's great. They came out to really support.
And Kendrick was just saying he's here till Wednesday, and then you're coming back in January. What could I do to make you stay here?
What can you do? Probably show me around the town. Yeah, I want to see London Bridge.
Nice. Have you been on a red bus yet?
No.
That's a cool thing to do.
Okay.
And the London Eye.
Okay. See? It's a whole bunch of stuff that I don't know about.
Who inspires you in the world?
Life, just in general. What inspires me? Life, family, you, the people in that crowd, just experiences, Me talking to you, coming from Compton is a great feeling.
Kendrick, it's awesome speaking to you.
Jab 5 was grinding hard in the studio, trying to turn his street reputation into a real music career. He was dropping tracks, staying focused, and talking about wanting to finally make it out of the chaos. But just when it seemed like things were looking up, everything flipped again. He got locked up once more. Soon after, rumors started spreading fast that Jab 5 had been hit with a life sentence for murder, leaving fans stunned and unsure what really went down. Some people online started spreading talk that Jab 5 was behind the killing of a dude named Shady Blue, who was repping the Rollin' 60s, but that rumor turned out to be cap. The truth was different. Jab 5 actually got hit with a 7-year sentence for an attempted murder case instead. He won't even be eligible for parole until October 2026. Meanwhile, while all this was going down, YoungThreat was watching more and more of his homies from the rap scene getting locked up or disappearing from the spotlight, leaving him standing almost alone in the chaos. Through all the chaos, YoungThreat kept making music, but his heart wasn't really in it anymore. He was still hanging out in the hood every day, stuck between two worlds and not pushing to go big in the industry. It looked like he was just rapping to rap until everything flipped. Out of nowhere, Kendrick Lamar tapped in with him, and that changed the whole game.
The reason why we on earth today, you, me, him, her, all these different walks of life, it's all a test. It's almost like an experiment, God's experiment. When are we gonna understand that we are put on earth to love? That's all it's about. Everybody want to figure out how complicated life is and break it down. This is what I truly think. I really think that it's going to keep going on. War going to keep going on. Frustration going to keep going on. Anger going to keep going on till we finally go back down to the simplest word, love. And when God sees that, then we have the answer.
Kendrick was showing love to underground LA artists on his GNX album, and when YoungThreat's name showed up on the track list, it instantly made headlines. Suddenly, the streets and the industry were both watching him. After hopping on the project, YoungThreat dropped a verse that grabbed everyone's attention. He rapped, "I'm in the field for real, UCLA Bruins, they asking how I do it, how a young one's so fluent. I kept my mouth closed, never left no witness. DOA up on the scene, tell him YoungThreat did it." That raw energy and confidence had rap fans buzzing. For many, it was the first time they'd ever heard his name. The streets already knew him, but now the industry was waking up too. YoungThreat later said that Kendrick's cosign lit a fire in him, making him want to lock in and go harder than ever in the booth. Landing a spot on GNX put YoungThreat right in the spotlight, and he even shouted out Kendrick on his track Dot, rapping, "Thought it was over, it's not. Thought I wouldn't change till I popped out with Dot." Fans thought this was the start of his big industry breakthrough. He tried hard to keep that same energy going after the Kendrick collab, hoping the buzz would carry over. But when YoungThreat dropped his new project in 2025, things didn't go as planned. Most of the songs barely cracked 10,000 streams on Spotify, showing that the hype was starting to fade fast. One big feature doesn't guarantee fame overnight, but still, fans were stunned at how quickly YoungThreat's momentum dropped. It was like 1 minute he was everywhere, and the next, he just vanished from the buzz. The last time his name made waves in the rap scene was back in January 2025, when the LAPD pulled up and shut down one of his video shoots mid-filming.
On GNX specifically, did he have everybody's verses already? What part did you come in on? Like, how put together was it already?
I'm glad you brought this up, see, because now it wasn't no like a verse or nothing. It was just the beat. But the way like mine had switched up towards the end, it wasn't like that. I think Kendrick had, you know, when they was working in the lab or whatever, they went and cooked up and he did it to his liking. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it was kind of like the regular way. It was the regular vibe, but it was no different verses on there. He just played my verse type shit. Like go up in there and go crazy. You feel me?
So you didn't even have a chance to pre-prepare. Like, so when you went in there, they showed you the beat and they're like, all right, let's cook.
Put the beat on. He like, you know what to do with this, like, right? Like heck yeah, like you feel me? I'm gonna go in there and go crazy. He cut it on. They had looped my side. Then they asked me if I write or do I punch in. And then I told him like, I can do both. He like, I think you should write though. I think you should write. But GNX wasn't the first one we recorded though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, GNX was the first one we recorded. We did something different. And then GNX, I think we did GNX pretty much like the last day. Then the next day it was out.
Wow.
Like, what the fuck?
Wow.
That moment showed how real the pressure was around him. Now, YoungThreat is sitting behind bars, facing life in prison after everything spiraled out of control, and with him gone, the 8 Trey Hoovers don't really have anyone left holding it down in the rap game. The 8 Trey Hoovers are still making headlines, but not for music anymore, just for wild street chaos. Lately, they've been self-snitching like crazy on social media, showing off things that should have stayed quiet. One clip even showed a member blowing up a car that allegedly belonged to someone from the Rollins 60s and then posting the whole thing on Instagram like it was nothing. Just a couple weeks later, more 8 Trey Hoovers went viral again after being caught on camera roughing up an older man repping the 66 East Coast Crips. The drama just keeps spilling online and it's making the whole set look reckless. Things got even darker when reports came out that a woman who'd been taken to the hospital after one of those incidents didn't make it.
I don't know, I wanted to hear from you. Maybe you had some insight. A lot of people felt like you were victim blaming and and you know, really not dealing with the issue at hand. Do you have any words for people that may not have understand what you meant?
I forgive them, period, because you know, obviously they don't understand where I come from. They don't understand what I've been through. They don't understand what I've done to my community that tore it down. You feel me? So for them to take my words out of context, yeah, I forgive them, period, because when I speak for self first. When I say respect, I mean, I still deal with that. Just because I'm in the limelight don't mean I still don't have animosity toward this gang over here. When they just killed 2 of my homeboys on tour, you feel me? And I gotta get a call and say, yeah, that's who did it.
Yeah.
I still feel that energy. I still feel that hatred. I still feel not respecting them because they got a different rag or a different flag on them, rather than looking at them as a black man and say, I respect you because of that. So for those who said that, I forgive you, period. And I demand this. Don't ever take my words out of context, because I'm the only one, if not the only one. It's a few more out there that's really, really speaking from the streets and from everybody, every urban neighborhood in the world, period. I forgive you.
What made it even worse for the 8 Trey Hoovers was that she was allegedly a mother of 3 sons who all rep the same set. The situation brought a ton of heat down on the crew, from the public, from rivals, and from the law. The 8 Treys were already dealing with lawsuits and nonstop street pressure, and word started spreading that all that stress played a part in YoungThreat's downfall. That when someone told him why CA 80 Bands was on the block, he was already ready to crash out without thinking twice. Right now, nobody really knows what kind of evidence the cops have stacked up against YoungThreat. It's all rumors and speculation. There's still a small chance he might beat the case.
I don't know, it seemed like No Jumper kind of changed to me. It's just like, it's like a new era. It's like a lot of people seem like they be trolling now. So it's kind of like, not even more so on like trying to bring an artist on there to like get an insight or their background or where they come from. It's kind of like more so like lot of clickbait stuff. I really don't like that part. Like, so I'm feeling like they really be all genuinely liking the artists that you really bring on there. I feel like if you gonna interview an artist, at least know a couple of his songs or really like listen to his music or actually got some real authentic questions. Like, a lot of people be trolling now and like, you know what I'm saying, like doing clickbait stuff. Like, as of now, like, you feel me, you got lists and you actually, you know, went history, you brought up a song, South Central Baby, that's one of my first songs. So actually, like, you know what I'm saying, and you want to know more about it. Like, it's certain questions that people ask you to where you know what kind of like, or certain questions that they ask other people to where you know what kind of people they are, whether it's just for the business or I actually like your music. You know what I'm saying? I take notice of all that type of stuff.
But with how serious the charges are, the courts aren't letting him out on bail anytime soon.
Robberies and shit. Couple robberies and shit. So one of them type shit, I went upstate, took 285 type shit. You already did your time for it. Do you want to talk about the situation? Oh, yeah, man, shit I rap about. Knock, knock, bopping and all that shit. Man, niggas on that type of time. All right, so take us back to that day. What was going through your head, what your pockets was looking like, what you seen, what you did when they was grabbing you. Just trying to get some hoes out here. Niggas be broke. Niggas be chasing this fast life on Uber. Trying to get the jewelry and the fast cars and all that little clothes. So trying to get the hoes, the big lump sum. We're living out here, nigga. Fat power, bird. 10 bands and all that shit. Nothing, so nigga was doing what he tried to do, get them hoes. Shit went bad. Nigga went bad on the case type shit.
Nigga snitched on you?
Type shit. He had a cool little run. Shit, when I went to jail, that's what shit went bad. When I went to jail, that's what shit went bad, you feel me? Nigga said, fuck that shit. Nigga start rapping. They got me on parole right now.
You gotta be in the house by 8?
Yeah, 11. I gotta be in.
All he can do now is keep his head down, stay quiet, and try not to get mixed up in anything that could make things worse for him inside. If you made it this far, show some love. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Drop a comment with your thoughts on this wild story, and we'll catch you in the next one.